What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unmasked podcast. What do you recommend them do or not do as far as like coming out of high school and pursuing a career somewhere? You're gonna make Michael think that we hate each other. I don't want that right now,
bro. It's all good, honestly. If you don't hate your friends, then you don't really like them.
Good thing I fucking hate this dude.
Nah, I was gonna say, bro. All my friends, they all get the worst of me, bro. If just know,
crazy.
If anybody ever says, "Man, Michael, he's a really nice guy, bro," like, man, I fucking love that dude. Like, maybe the love part is probably, hopefully, that people love me like that, but not the nice part, because I kind of can be an ass. So it's like, because I'm very direct, yeah. So, like, if I want something done, I'm like, hey, bro, I need you to do it. Or if, like, you're lagging on me or something like that, like, you know? Like, say, for example, if y'all were to have shown up at 12, I would have been like, bro, what the fuck? What these motherfuckers at? Like, you know?
Takes like 20 minutes to set up.
Nah, I understand the setup part, bro. Yeah. Fuck. Trust me, I get it, bro. I had to set up all this yesterday, bro.
Dude, I honestly, I couldn't even sleep last night, to be quite honest with you. Not really? That I was telling him, I'm not nervous. I hate when things come out like crap.
Yeah,
on my part.
No, I get you.
Like, I want to make sure, like, you understand. You probably understand a lot more than I do, but I want to make sure it comes out perfect, that you're depicted the right way. Nothing said in a negative tone, or, you know what I mean? Something that's real, true.
You were all good, bro. I went to school for 4 years to hopefully make sure that doesn't happen where I don't cancel myself on here. Right, so, you know, we'll be good, you know, hopefully for the most part.
See, and I went to school, when I was going to, like I told you, I went to school I went to CCB, but I got a degree in criminal justice. Oh, nice. So complete opposite of what I want to do.
Yeah, well, honestly, it's very similar to journalism in some senses, because you have to be very politically correct, precise. You can't really, like, say things that are not to what the case is. So, like, for example, like, I just released that video the other day on my YouTube about that guy that fucking got detained, right?
Crazy.
And, like, dude, like, there's so many, like, people are commenting, like, oh, well, he was what's cited and released. I'm like, well, he was still detained. Like, he was taken in, he was handcuffed. He was cited, but, like, I mean, detained and cited, we're talking synonyms here, bro. We're talking apples and Honey Crisps, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking apples and oranges, bro. Like, it's not two completely different sides of the fruit.
No, it's not.
You know, so
it just depends on, obviously, the legality part of it.
Exactly.
Whether or not he's gonna get, what is he gonna get booked for? Is he gonna do any time? Like, it's just it's a fine line of everything. It's a fucking fine line. It's unfortunate because obviously we wouldn't want people like that roaming around the streets, but you don't know the backstory to it. Like,
exactly. And those cases are so he said, she said, bro. Yeah. Like, it's like, nah. And that's kind of, too, why when I, like, released a video, I was like, I'm more doing this because, bro, I had hella people slide up on my story, and then I never, like, get good engagement on my story like that during the week.
Yeah.
I had 1,000 or, like, 1,200 people view that story.
Shit.
Bro, that's fucking crazy.
That's
like,
insane.
I mean, that's pretty, like, I have 4,000 followers on Instagram. You're telling me like 25% of my following looked at my story. Like, that's pretty, I'm not trying to like, I'm not talking brag. That's not like a braggadocious thing, because obviously it's not a good thing that I was posting about. But what I'm saying is, like, obviously people wanted to hear about it, or people wanted to see about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, and then people are hitting me up about it. So it's like, exactly. I don't know. I would feel wrong if I didn't give some context to this whole situation.
And at that point, it's a risk you're taking too, because some people could take it the totally wrong way.
100%.
You know, because your social media platform is based off of MMA and stuff like that. So for you to be able to take the risk and do something that's complete opposite, it's crazy.
And well, for me too, I felt like I gave that guy a platform before. I mean, I interviewed him after a fight, and so it's like, well, if I interview this guy after a fight and I'm giving these guys platforms, I kind of have to cite their mistakes, and hopefully the citing of those mistakes makes other guys not feel like they're invincible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because MMA fighters often have that mentality, you know, they don't get touched. They don't, you know, a lot of people don't want to mess with them or whatever, and they think, oh, I can do whatever the hell I want. And for whatever reason, that sometimes conceptualizes into thinking that, oh, yeah, I can go ahead and hook up with this underage girl, or, oh, I can do this because who's going to stop me? Or, oh, like, what, you know, and it's like, dude, first of all, that's wrong. Like, that's like wrong on so many levels. Second of all, like, that's just disgusting. Like, there's just so many different layers to where it's like, bro, don't, like, why are you going to do that? Like,
why put yourself in a position that risk your entire life?
Exactly. You know? And this dude's on the steps to the UFC. Like, he literally just beat a guy that was a UFC vet. He was a double champ at UNF, which is like one of the more prominent organizations down south. Like, I don't know. And that's not me talking. It's like, bro, like that's more like, dude, like what are you doing? I feel like LeBron in that J.R. Smith meme where like it's like he's like pointing at the basket. And it's like, dude, like you have it right there, bro. Like what are you doing?
He had everything going for him.
I mean, you can lead they have the saying, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it, bro. You have all the talent in the world, but it doesn't mean you're going to execute on your passion or you're going to execute on what you're trying to endeavor in, you know?
Exactly.
So.
Well, that was a good little intro, but my name is Bernie. This is the Unmasked podcast. We're here today in Selma, California with Michael, MLH Media.
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing today?
Please give yourself a little introduction, man, what you do and on a daily basis.
Yeah, man. I like to say, well, now it used to be like, oh, yeah, I do the commentary, I do the interviews, but I'm like, as of late, I became a Swiss Army knife. You know, I've kind of had to delve into a lot of things, but I like to say I work in the combat sports industry. You know, I've done combat sports interviews, I've done commentary, worked PR for organizations. I've done kind of I guess in terms of the media space, I've done a lot of it, you know, and so I've worked backstage before. I've kind of done a lot of those things, so I guess you can say I'm a Swiss Army knife of sorts, right?
Yeah. And obviously earlier we talked about it. Congratulations on graduating from Cal Poly,
Thank you very much, man.
How does that
runner over here?
Yeah, runners up. How does that chapter feel now that it's closed to you personally?
You know, college was a little bit of a challenging time for me. I would say that, you know, the pandemic definitely had a little bit of a factor in it. I wasn't like the most normal start of it. Like I graduated college in a drive-through. I mean, I graduated high school in a drive-through. So like, you know, they have the pandemic, like high school graduations. Yeah. So I was one of those, bro. And so for me, entering college was a weird experience. I didn't really get the whole traditional, you go on college visits, you do this, I didn't do that. I remember I went with my best friend, Ethan, and we drove to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. There's nobody on campus. I just walked the campus, and I was like, I like this campus. I'm going to go here. And, you know, my biological dad, he went there too. So I was like, dude, perfect outlet, you know. Now I can kind of, you know, follow the kind of family tree in a sense, you know. And it's always good when you have a fellow family member that went that rope. And it was either for me between there, Fresno State, and I kind of wanted to get out the valley a little bit, experience different types of forms of life. And I love it over here. Don't get me wrong. 559. At the end of the day, I tell everyone over there, even it's like my home, you know. But I think in order to grow, sometimes you need to put yourself in different types of environments, and you can't really expect to grow in an environment where you've fostered in. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in the Valley, I'd done a lot of my growing, and it was time to kind of go forward. And it was a little bit of growing pains, you know. San Luis Obispo is a little bit of a different groove compared to the Central Valley, but I found my way over there, and definitely very thankful for the time I had, like very thankful for the professors I met, for the people I met. Like really want to give like a big shout out. One of my best friends I met over there, his name's Matthew Ho. He's now working for The Athletic, which is one of the biggest like news outlets in terms of sports. I mean, he does it all, but he was actually kind of the one that told me to get involved with writing for the Mustang News outlet, and which is like their college paper and stuff like that. And it was a really good experience for me. Actually got me to go to I got to go to La Jolla, San Diego, and that would have never been an opportunity I would have been presented. So I always tell college now that I'm done with it, and I get to look at it with the retrospect lens, and, you know, with hindsight in 2020, of course, I always tell even my brother now, he just graduated high school. I'm like, hey, college is what you make of it. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you can go to any university in the world, and it's who you hang around with and what you do with your time is what's going to make it. So honestly, you know, like as much as people are like, oh, Cal Poly this, or, oh, like you went to this university in terms of like, even like, you know, Fresno State or whatever. My advice to people even listening is like, dude, just pick the college you feel at most home with, or you feel that you can make the most connections, and go from there, dude.
It's a journey. You got to travel it no matter what. So even then, you don't have to be stuck there, right? So if you hated it, 100%. Could have just came back to Fresno State or any other school for that matter.
No, and I was really close at one point. That's actually kind of when I had one of my like really, really close friends. He had passed away in 2021. Yeah, 2021. And I was over there at Cal Poly. No, it's all good. And I was still at Cal Poly at the time, and I was living by, and, you know, I was a young cat, you know. 2019, or 2021, I was living by myself. I was barely turned 19, you know. I didn't really have my way of the ropes yet in terms of how to deal with those type of things, and how to, you know, foster my emotions and really handle everything and just be able to live, you know, because when you have things like that happen, you don't realize what's really going on in terms of your day to day. It's like that. I give the perfect song I can give to losing somebody in your life is that Pixie song, "Where's My Mind?" Like, it just feels like every day your mind kind of goes somewhere else. Like, you know, you could go to work and you could just be completely engulfed that day, but then something just triggers you to where it kind of, the whole day kind of goes to
and that's at any age too, bro. The older you get, it's the same way. 100%. Even when you're young, I lost my best friend at 12.
Oh wow!
Long time ago, you know. It's still a healing process. That's 100%. Why, you know, when you say I'm sorry, you know, you're still grieving. You're gonna grieve 100%. No matter what. So even now, you know, so many years later, 18 years later, I still grieve. And June 26th, when it rolls around, I'm there. You know, prendiendo la vela or whatever it is. Like, you know, praying on it.
No, and it's always really, like how you said, like that date is always hard for me too, because it was right around my birthday too. So it was November 10th, it was the day he passed away, and then November 19th, I got the news on the 11th. So he passed away on the 10th. I got the news on the 11th. Yeah. He was supposed to kind of be in town around my birthday, because I was like my first year in San Luis Obispo. Because during the pandemic, I wasn't in San Luis Obispo because, you know, the pandemic, obviously, you know, and I don't know. For me, it was more so one of those things, and I'm grateful that it all happened in hindsight. Not grateful that my friend passed away, obviously, but more so grateful that I was able to go through this type of journey, because those type of things and those type of processes you don't really know how to deal with it until you're in that moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And being alone and being able to really like, okay, Michael, what are you going to do? And going back home and, you know, talking to my family. And, you know, I remember talking to my mom, and my mom's like, well, you got to think, you got to do something, you know, like it's either you know, she compared it to swimming. It's like you either float or you drown. Right. And so for me, it was like, all right, well, I got to get back on the horse somehow. So I'm lucky for the process that it happened, because then I ended up going to COS in the fall of that year, ended up going to a 559 fights event, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit later. But I guess moral of the story is everything happens for a reason, right? You
everything does happen for a reason.
You think in the moment, why is this happening to me? But then hindsight, you're like, wow, had this not happened, I wouldn't have gone down this journey, or I would have done this. You know, so grateful for what everything's been happening. Grateful for the 4 years I was over there in San Luis Obispo. Go Stangs, as they say. You know, I can't really agree with the initials for the university, but you know, if you know, you know. Cal Poly.
That's like an inside thing.
Cal Poly. I mean, initials for the university.
Oh, Cal Poly. Yeah. Never mind. You said it out loud. I got
Carlos
it.
Prates, you know.
Yeah. Switch it up a little bit. I looked your name up, and, you know, sometimes you find little things on the internet, obviously things on the internet.
Did you find the guy that murdered somebody in Florida? Because that's usually what people find.
No,
okay.
Actually, I didn't.
Good. That's good.
I found an article.
That's good.
Like,
because usually that's like the first thing that they're like, oh, really? So they looked me up on Google, and I swear to you, every single time. That's why when you said it, I was like, oh, crap.
Maybe because I typed in MLH Media.
There we go. Okay, that's perfect. I'm so glad that I came up with the MLH Media thing, because for the longest time, you know, when you're a little kid, you look up your name on Google. It was always that this guy murdered somebody in Florida. And I'm like, I got to get hopefully to a point where my name gets above that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like Hernandez underneath that. So I'm glad that MLH Media is kind of getting to a point where, or MLH in general, the initial is kind of getting to a point. People can look that up and now they
know that I'm not possibly a murderer.
No, exactly. Well, it happened so long ago, and the guy looks completely different from me. But it's just the fact that people see the name and they connect the names, you know? And I was like, well, I've never even gone to Florida, but it's good to know that my it's a well-rehearsed name, I guess.
Yeah. No, yeah. So that didn't come up, but what came up is an article where it said what you liked and how you got into like the whole MMA world and stuff like that. And you mentioned Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez as your first gateway fight. What about that scrap kind of stuck with you?
To be honest, for me, I never really was into combat sports telling you growing up. Like, I was really just focused on academia and kind of just wanting to get out of the area that I was in. You know, my mom always really preached to me having good grades and kind of doing that thing. So for me, sports weren't really a big thing for me growing up. Like, I liked sports, but I wasn't really like, oh my God, like I got to go play football. Oh my God, I got to go do this.
And you played football also, right?
Yeah, when I got to high school and stuff, I ended up playing football, and it was a good experience. But I just, I don't know, I never was that big of a sports guy in terms of doing it, I guess, you know. And I was younger, and I just remember being at my Nino's house. You know, you go over and everybody's in the carne asada, you know, everybody's kicking back, watching the boxing fights, watching MMA. I just remember that fight being on. And I don't know, for me, it was more so like the fact that two dudes are just saying like, fuck it, like, let's just throw down. Like, I don't know. And I wasn't even really a fan of that type of thing. Like, I wasn't a fan of fighting, you know, like kids are fans of fighting. Like, oh man, like I love to, like, I wasn't like that. Like, and I don't know, just that specific thing. I think more so the passion part of it. Cause I've always been someone that sees passion, like no matter what in somebody's endeavors, like even if you're somebody on the side of the road that's making hot dogs and you're just really passionate about it, I'm gonna be like, damn, bro, that guy really loves his job, bro. Like, I don't know. That's just always how I've been. So I guess I just seen the passion in what they did for the sport. And for me, it was like, that's cool that somebody can have that much of a love for what they do. Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously going forward, now it's insane. Like, I get to be kicking it with Gilbert Melendez. Like, you know, I get to work for his promotion over there in San Jose. And it's incredible because I never would have predicted that. Like, I never even would have remembered that name until one day I seen the UFC highlight. I was on the UFC, like, YouTube, like, you know, they have the lives. Yeah. And I remember seeing that highlight. It was when I was kind of first getting back into MMA and, like, around 2022. And I was like, wait, I remember that fight. And then eventually at an event, I meet Gilbert Melendez. So it's just, it's crazy, man. Like how you said, Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez, one of the kind of big fights I remember. Also remember Cain Velasquez. A lot of the Mexican fighters I really
Velasquez, Brock Lesnar was a good one for me.
Dude, yeah. No, I remember my brother, too. He had the UFC game, so he would always make me, like, kind of pick a random guy. And, like, I think I would always pick Don Fry for whatever reason. Don Fry, yeah, he was always one of the guys. I think it's just because he had the mustache and it looked cool. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Obviously, somebody's going to go and, like, find the game and research and correct me.
You know what's a great fight that sometimes – from time to time, I like to watch is Clay Guida Sanchez.
Yeah, that's a banger, nasty. Dude. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people always tell me whenever I bring up that Diego Sanchez and Gil fight, they're always like, "Oh yeah, do you watch Clay Guida?" And you know, and it's crazy too because I met Clay and it's he's a really cool guy as well. So it's I don't know. It's wild to me now because, like, I watch these guys and you almost look at them as, like, mythical-esque figures, especially when they have fights like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even, too, like, watching, like, somebody like your brother, Herman, I'm pretty sure other people in the crowd watch him and then they see, like, him out in person or see him before the fight and they're like, oh, my God, like, that's the guy that I just watched a couple of fights ago. It's just you grow this kind of, like, I don't know, this, like, aura behind you. Yeah, this, like, mythical-esque kind of, like, oh, man, like, that's crazy that he's able to go in there and turn that switch on, you know, because not everybody has that talent. And in fighting, it's not like football. It's not like this where you kind of get a gifted ability. It's more so like who's just got that grit in them. Because honestly, there's some guys that are not the best fighters. Like, I'll give a perfect example right now. Driscus Duplessis fights like a bat coming out of hell, but he wins. He knows what to do. Like, in the right situations, he knows what to do. That's all that matters, you know?
He's a dominant force with it. He's big.
Yeah, he's a big guy at 185. Man. I mean, he used to be at 205, I think, back in the promotion that he used to fight before the UFC. So definitely somebody that, like, yeah, if he, like, I don't know, like, when people talk about him, like, oh my God, like, I'm like, dude, that just goes to show you MMA is like, and that's kind of what I love about it. Anybody can get into it. You know, it's not just one of those sports where it's like, you have to have a 4.40. You have to be this. Like, you could literally be some guy that's a homeless dude off the street. And if you just got enough heart and dedicate yourself and really just push yourself to the limit, you could be at least decent enough. Like, I'm not saying you're going to go to the UFC, but, you know, it's obviously a select few, and that's why they have the UFC. And that's kind of why I preach that to people too. I'm like, there's a reason why the guys at the top are at the top, you know? So,
you know, even then there was an Ultimate Fighter season where there was this, I can't remember his name, but you might, giant belly heavyweight division, knocking dudes out, overhand right type thing.
Was it like the most recent one?
No, it was many years ago.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because they had that heavyweight season with Nunes and
you know what I'm talking about? Big Country.
Oh, Big Country, Roy Nelson. Like, Roy Nelson was funny,
bro,
dude. Yeah. Roy Nelson, yeah. UFC and Roy Nelson have a funny relationship. Yeah. Dude, Dana and him do not get along.
So I'm going to ask you this. Is there a moment in an interview or behind the scenes exchange that you go like, yeah, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be? Is it every single time you interview somebody, or is there one specific one that really catches your attention?
That's a really good question, actually. Usually people phrase it as like, what's the best interview you've done, or what's the, you know, so I actually appreciate that a lot. You know what, man? I would say it's honestly anytime I do an interview, but there's some select moments. I had one time where I interviewed a guy, and I remember I interviewed him before his fight, and I interviewed him after, and he just told me, he's like, this is the first time that anybody's ever asked this many questions about me. Like, no one has ever cared this much about what I do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, it sounds so little, or it sounds so minuscule, but the fact that, like, he, like, went his whole life, like, this guy was probably mid-20s, and nobody had ever cared enough to ask him this much about himself. And for him to dig deep and answer those questions, and then to go out there and win the fight, I think he got, like, a first-round TKO, and it was very special. Like, it was cool for me to see that. And then even, too, like, it got cool when, guys would start shouting me out in the post-fight interviews. Like, like Josh Simpson, like, he would always shout me out in the post-fight interviews. He was kind of one of the first guys to start doing it. Blake DeCourcy, like, it's cool when these guys start to, like, recognize you. You know what? Not so much, like, recognize you, but, like, recognize you for your work. Yeah, exactly. Like, I could care less if they know who I am. I really don't. It's more so about, like, seeing the work and seeing, like, what I'm trying to do to try and get their name out there, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's a lot of long nights, you know what I'm saying? A lot of days behind the computer. So it feels good when someone is watching those videos and is like, hey, man, like, I appreciate the content you're doing out there. Like, for example, I'll give another, like, Dave DeCourcy, like, he's Blake's dad, and he's always told me, like, hey, man, like, dude, the work you do is amazing, like, the interviews, and, I really appreciate everything you do. And, like, things like that, like, dude, it means the world to me, because that means that, like, that guy's taking the time out of his day, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could be doing anything in the world. He could be watching golf. He could be, you know, he's like, I'm going to go watch this guy's video. So that means a lot, man. And that's why I tell everyone,
I feel like I've had the same kind of reaction. A lot of my buddies on here I don't have anybody that's really famous or, like, that's well known, except for, like, the last couple of interviews I've had. But most of them are just everyday, your average Joe homies of mine. And they come on here and they are themselves and they appreciate it. And then they can look back and, like, their wives will shout them out, their girls will shout them out, their family, like, hey, my so-and-so was on a podcast. Like, it's a small thing, but it means a lot to somebody else, Mm-hmm. So I definitely know where you're coming from when it comes down to that. What's one thing that you wish people understood about the hustle behind MLH Media?
Oh man, there's a couple. I would probably say the number one thing though is, like, the return rate. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of, especially, like, I guess, like, people just in general just don't really, it's the same in the fight industry, they don't see the weight cuts, they don't see all the things that go behind the scenes. And I'm not saying, obviously, I'm a fighter, like, but, like, the way I look at it, it's like, dude, they don't see, like, for example, with you, like, recording a podcast, like, they don't see the time you take to set up. They don't see the time you take to plug in your machine. They don't see the time you take to go ahead and do all these things. And yeah, they sound small, but it's like every single detail counts. And at the end of the day, it's like you're the person that's taking into account that detail, not that person. So, it's really easy to speak from the outside of the club. Yeah. Kind of is what I always say, like, everybody's always real like, oh, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing I get most annoyed by is, like, when people, and it's not that I don't like criticism, and that's not at all what it is. I'm not trying to be like, oh, don't tell me what to do. But it's more so things like, well, like, do you think you could do this? Because, like, for me, my mindset is, like, I would never tell anybody something I wouldn't be able to do myself.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way my mind runs. It's the way I go about things. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of the times, like, people don't kind of recognize it's a one-man operation, And so I think that's the biggest thing is, like, hey, dude, most of the time I get help sometimes, like, shout out to my cousin Dominic. He's helped me out editing a couple of videos. He has a little bit of a film background. So he understands, like, he's probably one of the, like, my most favorite people I've worked with. And, like, Marcus Doodle, like, Marcus Baca, he does Gilbert Melendez's video. I was just in Vegas with him. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But,
good.
But yeah, like, I like working with fellow creatives,
Yeah.
But obviously that takes their time away as well. So it makes
right. Double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. So it makes things tough, man.
Do you think it's because you're young?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I do think a little people kind of undermine me, and they go, and I'm also very, like, I mean, you've seen how I walk in, very formal. I I don't really try and establish myself. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I don't try and act like a dick. I don't like, you know, it's just not my style. Because the way I look at it, it's like, I wouldn't want to be spoke to like that. Oh, I'm not going to speak to you like that, you know? And I always like will follow up with something like, hey, I didn't mean it like this. Like, so if, you know, like I always try and make it to where if I do sound off like that, I'm trying to correct myself, you know? So, because I even told you beforehand, like, sometimes I kind of sound a little direct. But, no, yeah, I've definitely thought about it sometimes where I'm like, man, maybe is this guy just looking at me like this because I'm young or talking at me a certain way? Because people have definitely talked at me a certain way, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm you know, like, I get it. But, you know, I'm still a person, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a human being.
I
like,
got feelings, bro.
I got feelings. Like, you know, I still go home and cry into my pillow just like you, bro. Like, come on, man. Don't be doing to me like that.
I feel like it's, even if you're young or old, it's the same thing. Because I deal with the same kind of criticism all the time as well, you know? I just think it's the type of people that like giving their 2 cents even when it's not needed, just so they can feel better about themselves.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly what it is. Or, you know, like they have their own flaw within themselves and, you know, they have their own stuff going on and then they're just like, they're trying to kind of, they're trying to exert it because I'm not trying to say like, oh, they're purposefully doing it.
Right.
But, you know, they definitely are like, oh, well, I don't know how to express myself in this way. And, you know, I get it because I've done it. I've probably done it to other people. You know, we're all human,
like we all have.
We're all human beings, bro. It's like Kanye West said, we're all liars, bro, you know, but, I know it's probably not the person to quote nowadays, but now. You know,
we'll take it though.
He does have a great quote. He does have good quotes.
Yeah,
you know?
he does.
Hey, as the kiddos say, he dropped college dropout. So you know,
that was my banger when I was in high school, bro. Not to age myself.
I was gonna say I still rock with that album, man. You know, you know, as much as I like how I said I like art, so I try to separate the art from the artist. He is one case where he makes it very, very tough though.
I still rock the Yeezys sometimes. Not gonna lie, bro. Dude, when they dropped on sale, I was like, maybe this pair or this pair. I'll take.
I think mine are, dude. I had some cream Yeezys, like the yellow like cream ones, kind of back in the day. Yeah, 350s, and dude, like I think my feet just outgrew them, man, because I got them like my junior year of high school, and I don't know, I had like a little growth spurt. I had a little growth spurt my senior year, yeah, which came at the wrong time because it was during like my last half of my senior year was during COVID, so the girlies didn't even get to see me grow, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, man.
Hey, the glow ups now, bro.
The glow ups now, exactly, yeah.
So you started in Visalia, now you're touching places like A1 Combat, Fight Night at the Tech is what I saw, which I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
LFA, obviously 559 fights, but what's been the biggest level up moment so far for you?
Oh man, that's a tough question. You're probably gonna get me in trouble with that one. No, I'm just kidding. I would say
don't quote him on that.
No, I know, right? Oh yeah, it's off the record. No, man, honestly, I would say getting the commentary position with 559 was probably like the biggest like stepping stone. Definitely pretty cool to work at Fight Night at the Tech because, you know, Chris Cyborg and, you know, working with her and like her picking me up, doing the post-fight interview.
Insane. Picked you up, bro. How did you feel?
I would just ask her for a picture, bro. That's all I wanted. I never asked people for pictures either. It's just we were doing the thumbnail pictures and I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you really quick for the thumbnail? And she's like, yeah, let me pick you up though. And I was like, well,
sure.
I mean, she's on the women's Mount Rushmore, bro. I'm not going to tell her no, you know? And she could beat the brakes off of me, literally. She could beat the brakes off me, so I'm cool. I'll let her pick me up. But no, I definitely say the 559 fights commentary position because I never, like, beginning my career there, I was walking out the cage, and I would just ask the guys how they felt. Like, 10 seconds on the Instagram story. I never envisioned me doing commentary. Like, that was never something that, like, I always wanted, even now, like, I was, like, always like, oh, yeah, like, I like behind the scenes. Like, that, I've always been a behind the scenes type guy. Like, I, like, work in production a lot. Even when I worked at my college at Mustang News, I did a lot of production work. Like, I would work on screen sometimes, but I did a lot of production, did a lot of editing. So, for me, it felt weird to be the guy that's, like, in front of the camera, even doing the post-fight interviews. That was such an adjustment for me. So for Jeremy, obviously, like, he's the main man in charge to kind of see that and, like, you know, ask me to pick up the commentary position. It was really cool. Like, I had never, like how I said, thought I would ever do it. So it was like, oh crap. And then so many guys had really wanted me to do it for some time. So I kind of felt cool, you know, to finally be that guy that you know, gets the gets that step up and gets to talk about these guys, because I definitely knew a lot about them, and they would see it in the post-fight interviews. So it felt good to be able to be recognized for that, you know, and kind of climb my way up the ladder. And hopefully that ladder continues to grow, and I'll continue able to grow with other organizations. But I'd probably say working with 559 fights and getting to that, because it was just, you know, you climb a ladder with organizations, you know, like I've worked with these other ones for shorter times. I've worked with 559 for the longest. So I think that's kind of why had the most sentimental value, and obviously the people I've grown with over there have gotten to see me grow as well. So, you know, like the other day we had our group chat, and I kind of sent a picture of us doing the podcast that we have coming up planning. And Rick Falcon, he's one of the guys that does the backstage stuff. He works over there at D-Throne. He said, "You came a long way, Mike." And like seeing that text, like especially from Rick, because Rick's a really cool dude, and you know, seeing everybody kind of respond to it in the chat, it made me feel good, because it makes you see like, damn, like I really, like how I said, I was doing this stuff walking out the cage, never envisioning that I would even do post-fight interviews. Like that was like, what the hell? Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Like, you guys want me on camera? Like that was my ideology. I was like, all right, cool. Like, but yeah, man, it definitely came a long way. So I'd say the 559 fights commentary position for sure was look off the top of the mountain-esque moment. You know what I'm saying? But definitely hoping to continue to grow over there, man.
I think you will, especially with the kind of charisma that you have. People to keep that kind of energy when people notice you. Yeah. You know, and that's working a 9 to 5 or doing what you do now. It works hand in hand.
Well, it's, you know, the way I look at it, man, is like, there's so many miserable people in the world, or there's so many people that like look at stuff like a certain way, or like have a stick up their ass, and it's like, for lack of a better term, and it's like, why are you going to live your life like that? Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could just have fun. And like, I get it, bro. Sometimes it sucks. Don't get me wrong. I have my down days. I have my times where, you know, I'll be in the car and I'll be cursing, you know? But the thing that matters is, it's like Rocky said, you know, it don't matter how many times you fall. It matters how many times you fall and you get back up. Yeah. You know, like, that's really like, I don't know. That's, I think, why I like MMA too. It's because a lot of these guys, like, they've fallen down so many times. You know, they've had so many things even in their personal lives happen to where they didn't know if they'd be able to continue the sport, and they still continue doing it. For example,
my German got into a crazy car accident.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah, I've mentioned that in the
Giant
podcast.
Fucking gash, bro.
Dude, I couldn't.
And maybe a couple months later, 4 months later, it was back.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, dude. When he told me that, like, he wasn't possibly going to be able to fight again and all that, because I remember sliding up on a story that day, and it's insane, like how you said, because you look back at it and you're like, damn, like that's where I was, like, you know, and like more so like for him, he's probably like, dude, like this could have not been a reality, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now he's obviously riding a 4-fight win streak. He's been killing it. So, you know, shout out to your brother, man.
Well, shout out to you too. When the mics are off, Mike, who are you? Who's Michael Hernandez?
Ah, man, that's another good one, man. I feel like I'm pretty reserved guy in terms of, like, you know, I have the charisma about me, but I definitely don't, like, I don't know. I think because I do the interviews and because I do the commentary, everybody thinks I'm like some party animal or some, like, I love to like get wicked and get down, but I'm a chill guy, man. Like, in terms, not like the meme, you know, but like I just like funny enough, outside of MMA, I would guarantee you don't know my favorite sport at the moment.
Maybe you mentioned it earlier, golf?
It's what you're wearing on your hat.
Baseball.
Yeah, I'm a big Dodgers fan, actually, funny enough. So,
bro, there's nothing on your page about the Dodgers.
Dude, I don't post about it. Bro. Yeah, but I don't really post about it.
That's crazy.
Because, yeah, so like I visit, fun fact for MLH media fans out there, I visit like half of the MLB stadiums out there. I've like hit 13, I think, out of the 30. So I'm a big, like, I like baseball. Like I used to play the MLB games a ton. For me, it's a separation. You know, I don't like to put my, like, even too, I don't know if you notice, I don't really post my personal life on my Instagram.
Which is what I was hoping for, because then that gives me a little bit more of an idea of who
I am. Yeah, no, a lot of people always tell me about that. Like, you don't post your personal life. I kind of do that for a reason.
Right.
People have gotten weird about my stuff before in the past and asked me questions, like, when I first started doing this stuff. And that made me realize, like, damn, like, how much of it, not like how much of an impact, but like how much, like, you know, when you see those memes, like 100 people watch your thing, like, and you think it's not a lot, or 20 people watch your thing, and you think it's not, those people are watching though, like, you know, and like, you got to make sure that you're not putting certain stuff out there, because they will, you know. So like, even too with like certain families ats. Like, I don't put them out there anymore because I already know that they're going to kind of get 20 followers. And it's like, why are you trying to follow my mom? Or why are you trying to follow him? Like, you don't need to follow her, bro. Like, you know, but especially like you're a 40-year-old man, bro. Like, you know, or like you're.
Thank you for not saying 30.
No. Hey. Like, you know, but no hate to the 40-year-olds out there, bro. But it's like, you know, my mom's going to ask me about you, bro. I don't want, you know, come on, bro.
Why do I have to give an explanation?
I ain't following their mamas. You know what I'm saying? Like, they follow me maybe, but like, and for me too, it's like, I look at myself as a media page, so I don't look at it as like they're being weird about it, you know? But it's like, I don't go out there following other people's moms, like, unless I know them personally. And even then, I'm like, you know.
Should I do this?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. It's one of those things, man. I find it very interesting, and that's kind of too why I said I don't put my personal life out there. Like, even a lot of people have always like wondered, like, oh, you have brothers? I'm like, yeah, I have 2 brothers, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, one of them fights, and then they're always,
Where does he fight now?
He fights at 559.
Okay.
He had all 3 of his fights over there. He's kind of just he's taking a little bit of a break. He's only a year older than me, so he's really kind of young in his MMA career. He wanted to focus a little bit on the striking, you know, because he was really he started with grappling and jiu-jitsu and judo, so he kind of really wanted to hone in on striking and just stand up. So he's really been working on that. I actually kind of was the one that got me this little bad boy. So shout out to him for the keeper. If it cauliflowers up, then hopefully it gets me some ladies in the club, you know, and they're like, hey man, MLH, man, I didn't know you was working like that.
You kind of talked about baseball being your reset button. Do you have an actual reset button though?
Yeah, I love to sleep, dude. I love to sleep. A lot of people, like, if you ever get a late text from me, like, just know it's because I have straight insomnia, bro. Like, I cannot go to sleep at night, so I'm always on my like laptop till like 1 or like my phone, and it's bad. It's terrible. Like when they say all that stuff about you, is really like it's true. Like I'm a victim of it. But you know, you just edit a video, and then before you know it, it's 12:40, and then you get in bed. It's 1:30, and then you trying to knock out. It's 2 a.m. and then so it's, you know. So I really love my sleep, man, and like I don't get a lot of it nowadays because of my schedule. You know, sometimes I have to be at shoots at 8, or sometimes I have to be certain places at certain times. So it kind of puts a little bit of a dent in terms of like me being able to do that. But I love spending time with my family, man. The older I get, especially too, like, you know, you start to recognize like, hey, man, like not everyone's going to be here for forever, you know? Yeah. And so I definitely like to spend my time with my family and kind of just unwind a little bit. Not really like I don't really try and watch MMA too much outside of me doing the commentary and the interviews, because I believe, like how I said, in a separation of work and, you know, and I think if you live too much in your work, it's not going to be fun for you anymore. And I think that's why I've loved my job and I have so much charisma about it, is because I have that separation, you know, like as much passion as I have about it and I'm working around the clock about it, I also have my time in those hours where I'm like, hey, this is I'm cool. Like I'm, you know, especially like on a Saturday, for example, you know, I'm gonna shoot this pod, do some editing, whatever. And then hours of like, you know, I don't know, 4:30 to 9:30, I'm not going to be reachable. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some people like for quick stuff, but like, you know, I have my separation of work, and, you know, I think you need that nowadays. And I think society's kind of gone away from that because there's so much of a hustle mentality, you know, out there. And, you know, there's so many people that need work, and there's so many people out there who need jobs and whatever. But the thing I say is, you know, you're pouring yourself into too many pots. You're not giving yourself your all into it, you know, so it doesn't matter. Like that person's not seeing your true full potential. So why even do it? You know, I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. Like, why am I going to?
I agree.
Like, for example, when I was going to Cal Poly, like, you know, I only gave myself the classes I knew I could take and be able to do the MMA stuff because I knew I wasn't going to be able to handle 16 units in a quarter, man. 10 weeks, and then also be able to do the commentary, travel to the Central Valley on the weekends, because that's what I was having to do. So, like, my usual school week would be Monday through Thursday. I'd have classes, and I would have a job over there sometimes, so, you know, I'd have work. But luckily, like, kind of my last year or so, I was able to just kind of sustain off of the MMA stuff, which I was very grateful for. But, you know, I would have to go, and I'd have to go to class, and then, like, on a Thursday, and then right after I'd come home, pack my bag, and go to Central Valley, and then Friday, wake up in the morning bright and early for weigh-in sometimes, or that Friday I'd have to drive down. And You know, so I understand, you know, like I understand the grind of having to go over there, and then, you know, I'd have to make sure all my notes and stuff were prepped the day before, or, you know, I'd have to make sure like, oh cap, 10 guys didn't reach back out to me. Now I got to text all of them, you know? It's one of those things where.
Got to baby him.
No, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it, man. I feel like.
I used to coach. So I used to coach, and I don't understand grown men, but the kids and the kids' parents.
100%. Yeah, kids.
Oh,
and
you
stuff
got
like
a baby on,
dude,
man.
no, grown men are worse, bro, because you think like, oh yeah, they'll respond because you're talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all about you, bro. Like, it doesn't benefit me it doesn't benefit you for me to not talk about you at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, it just makes me like, it makes it to where I can just talk about you however the hell I want, and I could just make my narrative, and then you're gonna get mad either way. So it's like, you know, I'm trying to make both of our jobs easier, and I'm trying to make us both happier, you know. And a lot of people, they see it after, but it's always cool when guys reach out and do give me that time, you know, like your brother's always been really good about it, or certain guys are really good about it, and it definitely is a respect thing. I look at it too at the end of the day, because it's like, bro, like I'm trying to tell your story.
You're taking time out of your day. It's your job, but you don't have to do it.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, I definitely respect their time too, because like how you said, it's taking time out of their day to type that little paragraph or voice message or whatever. So, yeah, I definitely have to. I feel like you know those girls where it's like, hey, ... like, are you still up? Like, you know,
are you there?
Like, shit. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm like, can I get a text back? Are you alive? Are you gonna be there fight week? Like, shit. Should I tell the matchmakers to look for someone else? Like, bro, what?
You know, it's funny. Last night, so I didn't see your message until I want to say maybe midnight, and then it was already 2 a.m. and I was like, oh, should I respond?
Yeah,
and
my
I was
Instagram
typing.
DMs are terrible, bro.
I was typing, and I was like, I'm not gonna send this man a message at 2 a.m. I'll do it in the morning. So then I got up at 9. And I was like, okay, cool.
Wouldn't be the first time, bro.
I couldn't sleep last night, bro. I couldn't sleep at all. I was stupid nervous.
You're so nervous to interview me, man. I'm sorry.
I really am, bro. I was telling him on the way here. What's one thing about you that would surprise most people?
Besides from the baseball fact, a lot of people don't really know that I like baseball.
Good thing you're a Dodger fan, cause
yeah, I know, right? Because I'm a Raiders fan.
Oh,
Astro. Oh, dude, what? Damn. I thought you were just rocking that just because you liked it, bro. It kind of hurts. Fuck. We won't talk about 2017, bro. We won't talk about 2017. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't want to talk about it, Mike.
Bro, the Dodgers have been terrible.
Yeah,
this past
they really
year.
have.
It's been
a bad dry season right now.
This is what I say about the Dodgers. Every year that we do good going into the All-Star break and we're like riding hot, we always fall off at the end and fucking choke in the playoffs. Yep. So I'd rather have this now and us like ride the end of the season pretty hot with the bats, have our guys get healthy, because I mean, bro, we had like the most pitchers on IL, and oh, you guys had more? Oh yeah, the Astros. The Astros were down bad, bro. I was surprised when McCullers pitched that one day. I was like, bro, what the hell? That guy's alive? Nope. Bro, I was going to say, he hasn't pitched since, like, the fucking World Series when they beat us. I hate that guy, bro. Bro, I hate him. I'm not going to lie. I don't hate a lot of athletes, but Lance McCullers, and, there's another guy in the Astros that pitched that year, and I like, no, not Garrett. No. One of the other, fuck. There we go. Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's a couple guys on the Astros where I just remember their names, bro, and I'm like, yeah, dude, it's like gives you PTSD. I'm not gonna lie, like it's just I can't look back into it. But going back to your question, man, what was your question again? Sorry.
One thing about you that would surprise most people besides baseball.
Yeah. Besides the baseball fact, that's a good one. What is a surprising fact about me? I don't know.
Could be the littlest thing.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, you got me really.
We'll get back to that one.
Yeah. Get back to me on that one.
I think you'll like this one. If you weren't covering fights, what would you be doing instead?
That's another good one. I probably would be covering either football, because I was really big into football before. I guess that could kind of be the fun fact I have. Like so you know, like how Like when you watch football, like they have the intros, you know, they're like, oh, like Troy Polamalu, USC. Like I remember like damn near every guy's college, like back in the, I probably like if you named a couple guys, I'd be able to tell you where they went to school.
Okay, hold on. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's name a couple guys. Randos. Well, let's start off easy. Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. He was Texas, right?
Nope, Georgia.
Oh wait, he's from Texas. Yeah, went to Georgia. Yeah. You're right. Huh?
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy. That's a Texas, right?
Texas.
He's a Longhorn. Yeah. He's a Longhorn. No, that's a funny one because he went to high school with Clayton Kershaw.
Exactly.
Yeah. Damn, you got me on the first one. That was a good one. No, but dude, I was really big. Oh, I'm really big into trading cards. Funny
you talk about it.
Yeah, I'm really big into.
Brought you a couple things for you, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Aljo.
Yep.
Dude, Alexa Grasso and Brandon Moreno. Hell yeah, man.
That was the only Brandon Moreno I had. I tried to find out whether I had a hollow.
Sick, man. Fuck yeah. No, dude, I appreciate you even bringing me a gift, bro.
Yeah,
what?
Brother,
I feel cool, dude.
Of course,
bro. What?
No, that Aljo I pulled. So I just started my little business with trading cards, but I had been collecting for years.
Dude, no way. That's
I pulled
actually crazy.
that Aljo maybe a month ago, and then obviously we had the schedule. I was like, I'm gonna take him an Aljo.
Yeah, are you excited now that they got the Topps Chrome and stuff like that?
So that tied it all together. When you went to the media event in Vegas,
dude, that was so cool to watch.
Pulled that rookie.
Yeah, the Bomb Fiend, bro. And then now he's fighting today at like 3, I think. So I'll probably be watching that a little bit. I think he's on the main card. He's a co-main event actually, so he'll be up on a little later. He's fighting Wonder Boy. He's fighting Steven Thompson.
Oh yeah, that's the Wonder Boy fight.
Yeah. But no, dude, I was really big into trading cards when I was younger. I don't have anything too crazy on deck, but I actually used to collect a lot of signed baseballs and stuff like that. So I'd go to games, I'd get the baseball signed,
which I was kind of hoping I would have known because I have a signed Max Muncy numbered out of 199 I would have brought you, bro.
Bro, no.
That's
a keeper, bro. That's a keeper, bro. You got to keep that, man. I would have loved that as a gift, but you got to keep that, bro. No, I'd probably say, though, like the most like crazy one where I was like, wow, I did not expect that. I got Edwin Diaz before he like was on the Mets and like he was on the Mariners. And it was before he like the before that. Oh, bro, I had his autograph. I have a picture with him somewhere in my Google Photos, bro. I swear on everything I love. Todd Frazier was another big one. He was a home run derby champ back in the day. I have a Clayton Kershaw money, like on this money ball, like, you know, like only him on the signature. So that's like my prized possession, probably, I would say, out of all of them, because I'm a Dodgers fan. Right. Clayton Kershaw is like our messiah. And
I'm chasing that 1 of 1, bro.
Dude,
that's what I'm chasing right now. We bought for that 3,000 strikeout.
Oh,
so we bought a bunch of Topps MLB packs.
I need to get back into the MLB ones, bro. Because I think you think this Kershaw's last year?
I think he got one more.
You think he got one more?
I think he's got one more.
He's been pitching really good this year. He had a couple.
I thought it would have been his last year because
his strikeout ratio is insane.
Released, but no, I think he got one more. He's got one more.
His ability to be able to still like get guys in the hole is actually insane. Like I'm like, bro, what the like he'll get guys in counts like 1 and 2. I'm like, bro, this guy's 45 years old, bro. He's still throwing curveballs with like mad velocity, bro.
Biggest fucking Kershaw hater.
I love that guy, bro. Hey. All right. The year we won the World Series, bro, he was solid. All right. Everybody dishes on him, but the year we won the World, years we won the World Series, he was solid. Like, he didn't choke. So I don't know, like, this narrative of him choking the playoffs is old, bro. It's like from like 20 years ago, bro. It's from 2012.
We're going to get fucking kicked out. Chill out,
Nah, I was kidding. Nah, bro. That honestly, that struck a personal nerve because I seen that video that the Cardinals did where they put, like, did you see where they, like, showed Matt Adams' home run when Kershaw was pitching over there in Busch Stadium, dude? I didn't see that. So Matt Adams, I mean, he hit that home run against us, like, in 2012, I think, when they went to the World Series. And I was like, dude, they showed it when Kershaw's pitching. Bro. What a piece of shit. Like, come on, bro. That's fucked up. But no, I love trading cards, man. That's always been something I like. I love sports memorabilia in general. Like, my goal one day is eventually to have something like kind of how this is, you know, where I have all my baseballs up, have all the cool trading cards that I've gotten up over the years, you know. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's definitely.
You know a little bit about soccer?
No, I've never really been big into soccer. That's always been the sport I've kind of I played it a lot growing up because, I mean, I'm Mexican, and where I grew up, bro, like, that was just...
Soccer's everything.
Yeah, soccer's everything,
just like in
bro.
Bakersfield and Arvin.
Yeah.
But the only reason I bring it up is because what kind of got me back into the whole sports trading cards thing is I pulled the Pelé card.
Oh, no.
Signed.
Yeah, that's a... Pelé card. I know that.
Yeah, so I got a signed Pelé card in Burbank, and that's what like skyrocketed it back.
You ever watched Kicking and Screaming?
I did watch
Kicking
I
was going to say the Pele
Will
ball.
Ferrell, yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought about right away, bro. I was like, dude, like, make sure you have that like up in the middle mantle in your house,
it's
bro.
there. Hopefully I'll send it to get graded next month.
How much does it cost for the grades?
Like $25. But the more you send out, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And you can actually, if you want to go to Burbank Sports Cards, they actually have a PSA place in there. They'll send them out for you and everything.
Nice.
So you don't got to worry about the shipping and stuff like that. Yeah. It's good to know.
Yeah, good factoids.
I'm gonna ask you a couple Spitfire questions.
Oh yeah, go for it.
First walkout song that comes to mind.
Ooh, that's a good one, man. Like, okay, just so I get it right on me. Like, first walkout song, like for a fighter, or first walkout song like that I would walk out
both?
to?
Let's do both.
Okay. First walkout song that I think of for a fighter is, I know it's gonna be corny, but Ilya's, bro, because I was there at UFC 298.
Yeah, Ilya's
and like
is fire.
that was probably the like thinking back, like the most crazy walkout I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah.
Like just the energy and everything. It was almost like watching a WWE walkout. Like I don't know, the aura like it had and everything. It just like the energy, and that was before he beat Volk, obviously. Yeah. And then I don't know, just you could tell in the building that night like something was different. So I would probably say Ilya for that. For me, I would say I've really been on a big Ozzy push lately, like Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. I love like Black Sabbath and, you know, but man, like I really love like West Coast rap and stuff like that too. Like I grew up on a lot of that stuff. So I'd probably say like West Side Connection by Nate Dogg and them. That's a good walkout right there. Nate walked out to that against Masvidal. That was a good one. Or I'd say like Thug Love by Tupac and Bone Thugs and Harmony. That'd probably be like my walkout because like I like the gunshot.
I think any Bone Thugs is
yeah,
fire,
Bone Thugs go hard. Yeah,
Bone Thugs
go hard. I never knew they were from Cleveland for the longest time. Fun fact. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't actually.
They're from Cleveland.
I swear to God. I swear to God, I didn't know they were from.
Yeah, they're from Cleveland.
Maybe now that you say that, the whole Akon Bone Thugs song where he. Yeah, now
yeah, they're from Cleveland. So they I always thought they were from like the coast or something, or like from New York, or I don't know. Like
Cleveland?
They're from Cleveland. Yeah, that's kind of why a lot of people think they're from the West Coast, because they have a connection with Easy.
That's so funny. I didn't know that.
Nah, I know, right? You learn something new every day, bro. Every day. What was that? They got no money from their music either. No, really? Damn. They got some bangers too, dude.
They really do. Crossroads.
Hey, that's a funeral song right there, bro. Anytime I'm like sad,
that was my anthem.
Crossroads is a banger, bro.
Favorite fighter to interview, or favorite fighter you've interviewed?
Favorite fighter I've interviewed. That's a big question I get a lot, or usually I get biggest fighter, but favorite fighter is kind of the second one in line. I'd probably say. Interviewing my brother was pretty cool because obviously, like, you know, like, it's like, I don't know, it's like putting on a whole different persona.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what I told German. I was like, I grew up watching all these fighters, but let's not sound corny on here because, you know, he's gonna be like, why you say that? But he's my favorite fighter.
But I'd say,
so I feel you on that.
I'd say either him or when I got to interview Gilbert Melendez was pretty cool because it was that was like another full circle moment for me. And, you know, obviously interviewing Brandon and Alexa and any of the UFC guys is really cool, but for Gilbert, it was more of a sentimental thing. You know, it's like that was one of the first fights I watched. He's looking at me and seeing my media career, and he's taking recognition in that. So that's what was more so cool for me, I guess. Was like, wow, I never expected that you would be like interested in what I'm doing. But hey, man, like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
one fight you wish you could have covered live.
Oh, I would say Conor versus Khabib.
Oh,
yeah, because, dude, I mean, imagine being there for the cage. I know that's such a casual answer.
No.
But, like, come on. Like, if you're a media member, like, you would not have wanted to be in media's row when that happened and, like, been able to get the pictures and get the shots and, like, been able to tell the story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's just so many elements to that. Or I'd say, like, Tyson Holyfield, that's another one. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
Tyson
I don't know.
Holyfield.
Like, I think the big ticket fights. Like, I'm thinking like fights where it's like, oh man, like that would have been really cool. Like, I would have paid money in general to go watch it. I would have paid money to go see Conor and Khabib.
Yeah.
But obviously, I didn't have that type of money back then. So
even me, bro, I don't think.
I don't think most of the human populace had that type of money.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the only people that had that type of money are the people that are also going to be attending the White House UFC event in July next year. So I think
it's
we're
gonna
good,
happen?
bro. Supposedly they've done the walkthroughs and everything. That's kind of what Dana was saying. But I mean, Secret Service, what they'll probably do,
and I saw your post on it too.
Yeah, it'll probably be a private event. But they'll have a bunch of soldiers and everything, and like military, National Guard, and stuff like that. It's a 4th of July event, so they already, a lot of them have time off anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's what they'll probably end up doing, and that's how they'll say like the 20,000 people in attendance, you know, because I mean, at the end of the day, they could fit a good amount of people in the lawn, or if they wanted to, they could just make it White House staff, because all of them have background checks anyways. So, I mean, if they really have done the walkthroughs and they've done everything and they've gone through Secret Service, because that's at the end of the day the biggest, like, I mean, I don't know if I was in cities where Donald Trump's been there. It's insane. Like the amount of like things that they change, like traffic, everything. Like it's a complete different like world, bro. Like it's different. So I think it would definitely impact a lot of things if they were to do it at the White House. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I think it would have to be people that have been pre-approved to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even the UFC staff, they're probably only going to let certain people there, probably only going to let certain media there. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
Guilty pleasure TV show.
Guilty pleasure TV show, I would probably say Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's like probably one of my favorite shows of all time. Yeah, I don't know. I use the Pretty Good from Larry David a lot. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Hidden talent no one knows about?
Hidden talent no one knows about. Oh, man. I'm pretty good with, like, how I said with the college stuff, even though you caught me with the Matthew Stafford. I promise I'm usually pretty good. That one is usually one that I use at the bars with the girls, you know. I'll be like, oh yeah, because they only know certain NFL players most of the time, you know. So
you're cheating at that point.
Yeah, that one you're sometimes I guess I'm cheating, but no.
I'll give you another one. Let me let you redeem yourself.
Nah, I'd say guilt. Man, I definitely say like hidden talent. I'd probably say like I got a low key like, in a sense, photographic memory. Like, I remember stuff that people were like, what the hell? How do you remember that?
Okay.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, you don't.
That's a talent.
Yeah, or I remember license plates really well. Like, yeah, so, like, if I see a license plate,
That's
like,
dangerous.
No, like, dude, I remember my license plate off the top of my head like that. Like, you know when you go to parking lots and people are like, oh, I need to take a picture? I don't need to do that.
Okay.
The girls love me for that. Yeah. Girlies, they're like, oh, man, what's the license plate? I'm like, oh, it's this. They're like, how do you remember that? I'm like, oh, don't recognize it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm just a little tismed out, but it's all good. Yeah.
Let me let you redeem yourself. Dak Prescott, where did he go to college?
Mississippi State.
All right, my boy.
Come on, man. Come on.
That was an easy one.
That's an easy one.
I'm trying to help you out here.
I'm throwing me a lot. I understand.
Dream. Well, since you're starting a podcast, right? Dream podcast guest.
Ooh, dream podcast guest. That's a good one too. I would probably say Dana White. Dana White would be really cool to have. Just because, I mean, he's as much as everybody paints him as this guy, like, I think he's funny as hell.
Oh, he is.
I don't know. He reminds me of a dad. Like, Dana White just is like, bro, he's just been through enough. He's seen it all. Like, this dude don't want to deal with shit that he don't got to deal with, you know? Right. Like, I understand him. I not that I understand him because I don't have as much money as him, but I get him.
Just don't confuse him for Joe Rogan.
Exactly. And, you know, everyone just thinks bald people look alike. You know, it's not true. But no, either him or I love like comedians. Like that's another one of my things. I love stand-up comedy. So I'd probably say like Ralph Barbosa would be a really good guest. Like I fucking love Ralph Barbosa.
Bobby Lee.
Yeah, I love Bobby Lee. Like I love Jaime too on there. He's hilarious. Yeah, I love like comedy, bro. Like I'm a really big like stand-up comedy fan, and like if you're funny and like you can make me laugh, bro, like you have a fan in me. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Segura, I love Tom Segura. I'd probably love to have him on. Like just to hear him talk about and like shoot the shit. I like Giovanna a little bit too, you know. He's got some funny little
dry
takes.
comedy.
I like the dry comedy. Yeah. Or you know, who's a real good one? Nathan Fielder. I love Nathan Fielder. He makes Nathan For You. If you've never watched that show, I love Nathan Fielder. He's one of my favorites, dude. I'm super dry comedy.
If you had to fight someone for content, who would you fight?
Everybody wants me to fight Ariel.
Hawani?
Everyone wants me to fight Ariel.
You'll take him, bro.
I honestly, I don't know if I want to fight the OG in the game. I'd say that better Derek guy. You know, you guys ever heard about that dude? He was the one that kicks it with Jake Paul. I'd definitely run his fade.
Yeah.
I'd run his fade for sure. Him, you know, man, I don't know. There's not really a lot of guys like my size. A lot of guys that like are in the influencer game or whatever are kind of bigger than me. So I'd have to gain some pounds. FaZe Rug. I'd run it with FaZe. We could run it. We could have a fun little. We actually have the same birthday, I think. FaZe Rug. Yeah, he's the little goatee and stuff, right? Yeah. Me and him have the same birthday. So maybe we have to duel it out to see who's really born on the 19th of November, bro.
What are you?
Who's a real Scorpio, bro? He's a real Scorpio.
Yeah. Nah, I'm December 6th. I'm Sagittarius.
Nah, you're good. Nah, but I'd probably say him, man. I'd probably say that better Derek, dude. I don't really got a lot of beef with any of the media people, like, to be honest.
No beef. What about no beef? What about no beef?
No beef?
Yeah, no beef.
Man, I'd probably say Ariel then, just to say, you know, why not tackle the biggest cat? You know what I'm saying? But then again, it's like
top dog.
There's such a big age gap in that. That's not even, you know,
Tyson.
That's like Tyson Paul. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's not that old, bro.
He's not that old, but
like
I just feel like
40s, I think.
Yeah, but still, it's just like I'm not trying to fight the OG. Like Tyson's the OG of the
lose
boxing game. And that's not even lose. I'm confident in my abilities. It's the more so that I wouldn't want to fight somebody that much older. And then people are just always going to paint us, oh, you fought the old guy. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'd rather fight somebody, maybe like, I don't know, Oscar Willis is a dog, bro. I wouldn't want to fight Oscar Willis from the Mac Life. You seen his bare knuckle fight against Ben Davis? He touched up my boy, bro. So I don't know if I want to fight him. He's kind of a dog, bro. You know what? Lucas Tracy, that YouTuber Lucas Tracy, I'll run it with that dude. Yeah, he's the blonde dude. I'll run it with Lucas Tracy.
Okay.
Me and my boy, Bedtime MMA, you know, we'll run it with Lucas Tracy.
For sure. One word to describe where you're headed to next.
The top, man. I think it's only a matter of time where I feel like things are going to fall into place, and, you know, you're going to eventually just kind of see me as a regular with doing my thing and kind of making my own space in for it. And that's always been my goals. I've never really like there's this quote, and I used it for my senior pictures like when I posted them, and I like listened to this song a lot because it's a really interesting song, but it's like by Nipsey Hussle. It's called Perfect 10. And he like talks about, he's like, it's a little radio interview snippet. And he says, you know, like, I never knew where I was going. Like, I never knew, like, you know, but I just kept on doing what I was doing. And like, I just never gave up. And like, see, for me, is like, that's the thing, is like, everybody, you could have the most resources, you could have the most money, you could have whatever you want, but you're not going to have the most like want and will. Like, you are not going to break my want and will, because I've seen a lot worse things in my path to get to where I'm at now, to where I don't think the things in front of me are going to like, and that's not to say that I'm going to not have, you know, everybody's going to have their days, or everybody's going to have their setbacks, but I feel like I have that ability to bounce back, you know, even more so. So right. I don't doubt that I'm going to be at the top of whatever you want to call it, the MMA media game, the influencer game, the commentary game, whatever you want to say. I just know that you're going to see my name. You're going to see my name with the top dogs in the industry, you know? Like, you're going to compare me to the Oscar Willises of the world in a couple of years, or who knows, maybe in a year time. I can't give you a timetable, but I just can tell you that where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what time it'll be, but it's going to be soon.
That's it for me, man. Do you have any other things you want to say at all?
Nah, man. Just hey, if you're in the area, 559 Fights 116 going down over there at the Visalia Convention Center. Big shout out to Jeremy Liu Chow and for letting me use his office for this. Obviously, big thanks. And then got a big event. Obviously, your brother's gonna be taking on Eric Arroyo over there. So yeah, man. Just if you guys can head out to that. If not, it's gonna be streaming live on my TV 53. going from Bakersfield to Madera. So if you got a local TV provider, Channel 53, it's also, you can look it up, My TV3, find your Xfinity, your TV provider. And tickets are about $50, I think, online for Eventbrite. But let me tell you, man, I mean, you've gone to those 559 Fights events. Are one of the best.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the best MMA events you could attend locally in California. I've gone to UFC events. Like, I mean, in terms of the venue and everything like that, it's just right about par with what you can get in the fights. I mean, right up there, too. I mean, this last event, 559 Fights 115, sold out, Eagle Mount Casino. I think, well on our way to hopefully having another great event over there in August, man. So hopefully, and we're gonna see you out there as well, man.
I hope so. And even then, for families that have kids and stuff, family friendly, kid friendly. I took my 2.5-year-old there. She loved it. It was fun. It was safe. People are amazing, and productions, you can't not rave about the production.
Yeah, and that's what I try and tell people is, you'll go to a lot of MMA events and it's there's so much going on that you almost can't focus on the fights. And that's what I really like about 559 Fights is you go and the fighters are the spotlight. There's not rappers happening, and that's not a hate on the events that do that. It's just I feel it takes away a little bit from what's happening at hand, and these fighters put so much time into their camp. They put so much time into doing what they love, man. And it's like, if we really can't take this 2 hours, this 3 hours to enjoy the 10 minutes that they're going to put on display possibly, like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I just the way I look. Yeah. What are we doing? Like, why are we buying this ticket here? Like, we're, so, and I don't know. I guess it's because I see what these guys put in, So I definitely like to pay them their respects. And even, too, when I'm at the event, I try not to really, be on my phone. I try to really just be in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Live in the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And I appreciate you. Honestly, I really do. All bullshit aside, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day. Having me here, it's awesome. I appreciate it.
You made the drive, my man. I appreciate you even invited me on, man. So thank you for giving me.
Thanks for sliding up. Thanks for sliding up.
Hey, thanks, man. I definitely like to support people like you. Doing your thing in MMA media space, man. So keep on doing your thing. That's all I can really say to that, man. Just it's a grind, bro. But I know you know that. So just keep on doing your thing.
We'll get there, man. Hopefully, eventually. And then also, do you want to put your plug in so people know where to reach you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, if you're an MMA fan, you'd like to go ahead and follow the combat sports kind of industry, MLHmedia.MMA on all platforms, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, what may have you. I'm on there, kind of trying to grow the TikTok a little bit more, trying to be a little bit more funny here and there, trying to show my personality. People have been like, dude, you're funny. Why don't you talk about that more? I'm like, because then I don't ever want to distract from a fighter, or I don't ever want to make it about me. Yeah. So that's always what it's been. But now that I'm getting into it more, I've realized, in order to get the fighter out of their shell, I got to kind of be me a little bit more.
Right.
So it's this tough balance, But, yeah.
That's it. All right. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you for your time, brother.
I just need the cards. We almost got first place. What's up, my man?
How you doing, bro?
How you doing, brother?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no, of course. Nice to meet you, Michael. Nice to meet you, man.
Officially meet you. This is my homie, Michael, right?
Hey, nice to meet you, man.
Michael.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah, no, yes, we literally barely set this up yesterday. So,
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
If you want to kind of move some stuff around, feel free and stuff. And so
How do you root for football? Because if you say a certain team, I'm walking out right now, baby. I'm ready for that, bro. I'm walking out right now.